Does the idea of quote unquote superhero fatigue concern you at all as you continue to look for exciting ways to tell stories in the genre?
No, not at all.
That's a spirit, champ.
I question where the fatigue lies, and I think, without digging into the specifics of anything that has or hasn't been successful, I'm very curious to see what happens around any notion of superhero fatigue when James Gunn's superhero things come out, because I don't think the audience is fatigued. Let me put it that way. I think the audience is hungry. We were just down in Mexico doing a CCXP down there.
I love that.
And they are hungry as hell for superhero content. So I think it's easy to start saying is there superhero fatigue or whatever. I think people just want fresh story and fresh ideas and fresh storytelling. And because of the nature of our show being an inverted universe, we're not slaves to the same masters. We're not bound to the same moral true north that standard superhero things are. So we have no boundaries.
Right.
So
I am not and never have been invested in this world because you guys wear tights. It's you could be any characters, and whatever you're doing, I'm on board. So
yeah. Well, the funny thing is, I don't think any of the actors or anyone making the show treats it specifically like a superhero show, because all the characters have to be a little more three-dimensional. And we can make them a little more three-dimensional because we don't always have to be good. We don't have to be always bad. We can be both. We can have really complicated mixed characters, and I think that makes it much more enjoyable.
With this team of writers, no, mostly because they follow the culture. It's not just about taking a collection of stories and kind of giving us what we're familiar with. It's using it as a lens to talk about what's going on, to talk about the lives that our audience members are going to go live after they watch the show. Mm-hmm. So that's not so much a fear of mine, especially because the Kripke and the writers, they've set up a world where it's a reflection back at reality.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very surreal, and it's always troubling that reality seems to represent our insane show more and more every year. But yeah, it's honestly the last couple of years have been like that. Like, we've been writing things, and then just as the show is dropping, those things seem to be really big and in the news.
Right.
And people always ask me, like, well, how are you so prescient? How did you know that was coming? And my answer is always the same, which is like, look, that was shitty 2 years ago, and it's shitty today, and it's going to be shitty 2 years from now. like they're all problems that are not going away anytime soon, unfortunately. And so it looks like we're being current, but we're really just talking about the same old shit that we were talking about 2 years ago.
I can't believe this is fucking happening to me again.
Karen, so favorite is a weird word, but what's your favorite way that Kimiko has died so far?
Oh, Kimiko has died. Yeah, ooh. You know, it's got to be the first one when she is fighting Black Noir, and then there's a, you know, the crane with the camera is going from her dead body, and we all think that she's dead. There's some epic music playing.
Yes. That was amazing.
And then she's like, bam,
yeah, that is cool.
That was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I mean, also as an actor, I was like, phew, dodged that.
Yeah, of course. Made it.
I made it. Thank God. Yeah.
Colby, I'm curious, considering how many people get killed kind of willy-nilly on this show, and I think we all sort of sit waiting for each person to go. Ashley's ability to survive and even thrive is kind of commendable. I want to know why you think, what you think her most valuable quality is that kind of keeps her safe-ish in the realm of the boys.
Yeah, I mean, I think she is such a public figure for Vought that having her die, it just I think it wouldn't be great for their fiscal year, especially, you know, when Giancarlo Esposito, when Stan Edgar is pushed out, you know, there's some turmoil, and like the board, there has to be meetings with the board and all that kind of stuff, and we have to make sure that we have to make sure that Vought can survive because, you know, without Vought, the home of all of this power that Homelander wields would be gone. I mean, he can wield power in many different ways, but you know what I mean? Like, I also think like she's a great, you know, when Sage comes in and Ashley is basically I want to say a musketeer, but that's not the right word. A mascot. Thank you. not a musketeer. When Ashley is now a mascot for Vought, you know, I think Sage understands that that is actually quite important to have a playing leader, even if Ashley wields no power.
That doesn't sound good, Ashley.
Oh, yeah, no shit, Ashley.
Sorry, Ashley.
Claudia, I need to know because did the boys and Gen V feel like totally different projects to you? What was it like sort of portraying Neuman in different ways in comparison to the way that she kind of interacted with different people?
No, I definitely felt that it was still under the same umbrella, which is great because it's in the same universe. I mean, I did feel different though as Neuman on Gen V because I'm interacting with these like essentially these college kids, so it has like a whole different kind of approach. I think Neuman in general talks to different people in different ways depending on who she's like up against. But it was really funny to come in as this kind of like faux maternal figure, almost. Like that's the energy that I felt like I had. It felt easier to hide. That's what it was. It felt easier to hide because they're more trusting. Well, that's what, you know, the character dynamic. So yeah, it just felt easier to be duplicitous Neuman on that show. Wow. That's it.
Well, I can't tell you guys how impressed I am at the fact that you're constantly reinventing this show, and that the fact that like 5 seasons into it, I'm still as invested in the characters as I am from.
I don't know how the writers do it.
It's a
true testament to the writing.
Really.
Like they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
And Eric, how many people ask you for a part? How many people ask you to maybe participate?
I mean, more and more now. I mean, in the early days, it was more like, what can we do to get away from you? Now, I would say, like, heading into season 5, for the first time, we've gotten, you know, like Seth Rogen or his partner Evan Goldberg will shoot me an email, and like we were just talking to, you know, huge star X, and you know, they want in, and can we get them in? And so, you know, and we're obviously, I have very little shame. So of course I'll find a part to get them in the show.
You'll no longer be beloved celebrities. You will be wrathful gods. Show me a little wrath.
Erin, my favorite part of Starlight's story currently involves her wrestling with the idea of whether a hero needs a costume to have a greater effect. And as a performer, I'm wondering if you're also a little bit pleased to not have to wear the hero costume as often as maybe some of your co-stars do.
Oh yeah. The thing about it is like, I'm never gonna lose that ultimately like unshakable feeling that putting on a cape is just like, there's something to that's profound that you can't escape, that like you thought, you know, I didn't dream of that as a child even, but like it's a cape and there's a part of you that's like, how did I even end up here? This is insane. So that novelty never wears off. But at the end of a very long day, in a very tight suit like that, when you just want to like sit down and eat lunch without feeling like your organs are compressed, it's been a really like physically comfortable transition into the boys and into Annie exclusively. Also satisfying for her emotionally, but predominantly like just overall feels physically really good to wear sneakers on set. I never take any days for granted. But I just get to wear some sneakers. It's the best. Yeah. But that suit is stunning. Like the reason why it was so impeccable looking is because it was tailor-made for our bodies. So I'll never forget that experience, and I'll always like love putting it on. I say that, but I want her to stick to her commitment of remaining Annie and not. But I love it forever.
I'll let you ladies know that I'm wearing athletic shorts underneath here.
Look at you.
Oh,
I love that.
Only way to do it.
You get it. This is insane and desperate, even for you.
Well, insanely desperate's where we are, don't you think, love?
Let's go. Chop chop, motherfuckers.